and a prompt in which a lecture would be given. Lantern lectures they were, he said, but as the screen was too large for the projector and the lamp too weak for the size of the hall, the images thrown were intelligible neither to the lecturer nor to those present. At a quarter of an hour before the appointed time, there was always doubt as to whether anyone would come to this particular lecture, and people then would filter in. We thank you for being here. And from a man who had been to the end of the world, I'm sure you might be chuckling about what's been happening today. Thank you very much. Well, this is a session which both honors and remembers and thinks about the work of Claude Lévi-Strauss. And I do have to announce to you that one member, Mark Adelais, cannot be here, but we have a statement from you which will be read at the appointed time in this session. And I want to introduce first Albert Doja.
Thank you for giving me the privilege to work on this commemorating session on Lévi-Strauss' legacy. I think the best way to commemorate Lévi-Strauss' legacy in anthropology is to account to his continuing relevance for contemporary theory. Surely, an attempt to revive Lévi-Strauss to a central position can hardly meet immediately with many of the current social and political issues. Yet, it is possible to show that structural anthropology may innovatively account more than for the dynamics of social system and the praxis of competitive and strategic practices. Indeed, Claude Lévi-Strauss anticipated and called for the advent of what I believe is or must be the future of a theoretical anthropology. Contrary to the received ideas of his critics, there was not much recent topical, ethical, methodological, or epistemological that escaped Lévi-Strauss' notice, understanding, and mentions. As I showed several times elsewhere, in his writing, we can find the seeds of a new epistemology and a new ethics involving a set of new assumptions and procedures for the acquisition of knowledge, a new approach to methodology, and a new global awareness. However, the true value of Lévi-Strauss' works, especially in the Anglo-American world, has been obscured by a number of misunderstandings, which have no doubt been made worse by problems of cultural more than linguistic translation. Just but to equate Lévi-Strauss with structuralism, for instance, is to distort our understanding of his legacy and his continuing relevance in anthropology and social theory. As I show elsewhere, revisiting the old debate between Derrida and Lévi-Strauss on the place of writing, we must legitimately ask to what extent, in the popular imagination at least, a version of structuralism invented retrospectively by post-structuralists has become substituted for the real thing. Not only Lévi-Strauss' original approach to history, but above all, his actual theoretical and epistemological contribution to general knowledge and the humanism of structural anthropology as a human science are seemingly neglected and rarely appreciated, if not deliberately misconstrued, despite the fact that they are essential aspects of Lévi-Strauss' theory. Some of these aspects could lay strong claim to having mapped within anthropology the philosophical parameters of an increasing preoccupation with issues of political concern and engagement in the post-colonial era, as well as with issues of contextualization and reflexivity in the face of the declining coherence of meta-narrative and ground theory. To the extent of the impact of the new form of humanism initiated by structural anthropology, as I showed elsewhere, Lévi-Strauss used structural argument coherently and correctly to analyze the cultural order, and at the same time, he recognized the transient character of disorder by means of entropy, irreversibility, and not surprisingly, deconstruction and self-reflection. trust theory may be for work as a workable methodology in helping us to build innovative anthropological approaches to history, agency, culture, and society. Actually, a more closely arced and clearly defined theoretical framework